welcome to Telugu One Academy. So now we would be having a constitutional body, that is Election Commission of India, which is an important constitutional body. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body which conducts, supervise the elections to both union and state levels. So for the elections of parliament, that is both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and also elections to legislative assemblies and legislative councils are conducted by the Election Commission of India. So Election Commission of India also conducts elections for president and vice president as well. We have mentioned this Election Commission of India under part 15 of the Constitution, under part 15, article 324. So 324 of the Constitution, article 324 of the Constitution gives Election Commission of India, and we have various articles up to article 329. So what are the provisions mentioned in the Constitution regarding Election Commission of India? What are the responsibilities, duties and functions of the Election Commission of India? That is, ECI have advisory function, it has a quasi judicial function, so administrative functions. So all these functions are mentioned in the Constitution, and that is the reason why we call ECI as a constitutional body. It's an important constitutional body which conducts elections for the country. So the democracy is strengthened by the elections, and Election Commission of India conducts elections and in a free and fair manner, giving equal importance to all the political parties, be it ruling party, opposition party or any other party. The Election Commission of India conducts a free and fair elections, having a credibility in conducting the elections. So the constitutional things, the independence, the autonomy of the Election Commission, what are the powers, functions, and we also discuss what are the challenges in front of the Election Commission of India when it comes to conducting elections for such a huge population of our country. So we have a huge population with many states. We have such a wide geographical country with many states. We have linguistic diversity. So all these keeping in mind, it's a very big challenging task to conduct elections for such a enormous country. So, and Election Commission of India has successfully conducting general elections from all these years since its inception from 1950. So we will be getting into the details of the Election Commission of India. So what are the main provisions mentioned in article 324? So power of direction, superintendence and conducting of the elections. Here Election Commission of India will supervise the elections in entire country. It will control and direct the elections. When we say supervise, that is superintendence, direction and control, it means the Election Commission of India, a constitutional body having a responsibility of conducting elections at union level and also at state levels. And when we say superintendence, it supervises all the elections. See, conducting of election is not an easy task. It involves all the machineries, it involves all the state machineries. It needs a lot of staff coordination, preparing of electoral rolls, giving recognition to the political parties, conducting elections in a peace and fair manner. So we have many incidences like booth capturing, we have incidents like rigging. All these are the challenges in front of the Election Commission of India. So to coordinate all the departments, to coordinate all the machineries and to supervise such election is obviously a very tedious and very complex process, and it is the responsibility of the Election Commission of India to conduct elections in a free and fair manner without any pressure, without any bias. So that sort of responsibility is given to the Election Commission of India. So, control and conduction of elections to the parliament, that is general elections. We say general elections, every 5 years we have an elections. So, such elections are conducted by the Election Commission of India. When we say parliament, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha's elections are conducted by the Election Commission of India. Even state legislatures, all the state legislature assembly elections are also conducted by the Election Commission of India. Generally, we witness elections every year or a couple of years, because we have many states, and every year some or other state will have a general election. So, Election Commission of India is busy now round the calendar in conduction of the elections. So, the ECI will also involves in the administrative matters, that is giving code of conduct, allotting symbols to the political parties, giving such time and directions to conduct such elections, and recruiting staff for conducting of the elections. So, all these administrative, advisory and quasi judicial functions are with the Election Commission of India. Even the office of the president and vice presidents are also elections are done by Election Commission of India. As we know, Election Commission, this is a union body, Central Election Commission, common for both union and state level. As we have just discussed in previous class, we have an exclusive Election Commission which conducts elections at state level for local government. That is, for panchayats and the municipalities, we have State Election Commission under Article 243K. Election Commission of India conducts elections for central and state governments. We say Election Commission of India ECI does not deal with the elections to the municipalities and panchayats. This might be a probable question in our examination. So, we have to remember that for municipalities and for panchayats, we have a separate election commission, that is State Election Commission under Article 243K. So, for municipalities and for panchayats, we have a State Election Commission. This is also a constitutional body because it is mentioned in the constitution. So, here we say separate State Election Commission is provided by the Constitution of India for municipalities and panchayats. This is by 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, we could establish this State Election Commission. So, when we say the commission, that is the members in the commission, initially we had a single member body. So, Election Commission of India was initially a one member, that is single member body. But when we have reduced the age from 21 to 18, that is the age of eligible for voting was reduced from 21 years to 18 years. At that time, most of the population were included in new electoral roll. So, such increase in the population or increase in the voters list has made the Election Commission of India to become a multi-member body. That is, one chief election commissioner and two election commissioners assisting chief election commissioner. So, initially it was one member body, but in 1989, when the age was reduced from 21 years to 18 years, two more election commissioners were added. So, President would generally appoint Election Commission of India and other election commissioners. We know President has appointing authority to appoint Election Commission of India. Obviously, on the recommendation of the Council of Ministers, President would generally do not himself appoint members or commissioners to the commission. President would generally act on aid and advice of the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. So, initially we had a single member, that is initially one member body. Then after 1989, we have two more election commissioners assisting Chief Election Commissioner. So now at present, in between also again the multi-member body was reduced to single member body. Then afterwards again, because we have elections every year in some or other part of the country, we are now continuing with multi-member body, that is one chief election commissioner CEC and two election commissioners, though all the three have equal power, equal salary, equal remuneration, but because we need to have a chairman, that is commissioner, chief election commissioner is the highest authority, and these election commissioners can only be removed on the recommendation of chief election commissioner. So arbitrarily, because we say president appoints chief election commissioner and other election commissioners, the president cannot remove them arbitrarily. There is a process. Which is like removal of chief election commissioner and other members, or also should be made on the process on the line of removal of Supreme Court judge. That is, the bill has to be introduced in the parliament, and by special majority such bill need to get passed in both the houses, then only they are removed. They are removed on the basis of misbehavior or incapacity. So the chief election commissioner now at present, the CEC, that is Election Commission of India, is a multi-member body that consists of 3 election commissioners, one CEC, chief election commissioner, and 2 election commissioners. So chief is one heading the Election Commission of India and other election commissioner. This is also decided by the parliament. Parliament could decide on the number of election commissioner depending upon the nature of the work, the load of the work they have. So they cannot remove arbitrarily. They can be removed only on the lines or as Supreme Court judge are removed. So they will be getting equal salaries, emoluments as Supreme Court judge. Okay. So we have Article 324 talks about election commissions, Election Commission of India. We can say that the term is generally 6 years, 6 years of term, or until they reach 65 years of age. There is no fixed term actually for Election Commission of India. There is no fixed term, as we say. They can be removed by the procedure, that is the parliament can remove them. So generally Election Commission of India, the commissioner, the CEC or the election commissioners have a term of 6 years or until they get the age of 65 years. They can be removed on the basis of proved misbehavior or incapacity. We know we do not call it as impeachment, because impeachment is the word used only for the removal procedure of the president. So Supreme Court judge, Chief Justice of India, or any chairman or members of constitutional bodies like we have CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General, Finance Commission, Election Commission. So these dignitaries can be removed on certain basis, which generally we do not use the term impeachment, but removal process. So on the basis of proved misbehavior or incapacity, they are removed. So the Constitution has not mentioned any qualifications for the chairman, that is the commissioners of Election Commission of India. There is no qualification mentioned, be it technical qualification, educational qualification, or any such qualification is not mentioned. So no qualifications are mentioned in the Constitution. There is no specific term. We though say that the term is for 6 years or until they reach the age of 65 years, but the term is not permanent. So they could be removed at any time. And one important thing is, the election commissions, the commissioners are not debarred to work further after they come out of the office. So once the term is expired, they can work anywhere, that is they are eligible to work or in other offices of the government. So they are not debarred from appointment. for future appointment. So we can say that there might be a probable question here. They are not debarred here. The commissioners can get appointment in future in other government offices. So no qualification, no specific term, and they are not debarred to work in further offices. So as we know, Election Commission of India is a permanent body, independent body, autonomous body assigned with the task of conducting free and fair elections for both union and state legislatures, that is both parliament and assemblies. So 1950, from inception, since its inception till today, Election Commission of India has successfully conducting many elections, also facing certain challenges, also criticized by many quarters or many sections of the political parties. But otherwise we could say that today the democracy what we have is a vibrant democracy. We are keep on changing, our population is increasing, awareness is increasing, many regional political parties are being coming into the picture. They are fighting elections. Independent members are there who generally they are not part of any political party, still they try to get into the election process. So all these things have become a challenge for the Election Commission of India to conduct elections for such a population or for such a huge country. So for that, obviously the constitution gives more powers to the Election Commission of India. It gives independency, autonomous powers to the Election Commission of India. As we also know that Election Commission of India is a quasi judicial body. It has also powers of quasi judicial body, that is judicial powers are also vested in the Election Commission of India. Any problem or any conflict regarding disqualification of the members or regarding any electoral things can be decided by the Election Commission of India. Here Election Commission has such wide vast powers. It has administrative powers, it has advisory powers, and it has quasi judicial powers. So constitution gives such powers to Election Commission of India for superintendence, direction and control of the process in conducting of the elections. So as we said, we have three important functions what Election Commission of India would generally function. So administrative, advisory and quasi judicial functions. When we say administrative functions, right from preparing electoral rolls, issuing EPIC cards, that is electoral photo identity cards, and giving recognition to the political parties, issuing code of conduct, deciding on the time and nature of the elections, deciding on the constituency and placing booth, voting booth, deciding on the questions of law and order, tagging sensitive areas. So all these functions are with Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India do not have their own staff. Generally we say for conducting elections for such a huge country, they should have a lot of staff, but generally Election Commission of India do not have such staff. They have only administrative staff at top level, but the ECI or State Election Commission would take the help of the staff of state or central staff. So they will conduct elections. When the elections are conducted at union level or state level, they will take staff from the such state or union help. So they do not generally have their own staff. When we say advisory functions, Election Commission of India advises the President on the nature of elections. So generally Election Commission of India will submit its report to the President on the various functions or various conduction of the elections. And quasi judicial functions, when there is any dispute related to the Election Commission of India acts as a quasi judiciary body. They could issue summons, they could ask people to give the explanations, they could issue notices and resolve the disputes. We will get into the details of such functions. So, one important function here is territorial area. So, we have constituency system, and Election Commission of India would decide on such territorial areas. So, here territorial area is a constituency where a candidate could be they could get to contest the elections. So, territorial areas are decided by the Election Commission on the basis of a delimitation commission. There will be a delimitation commission which studies on the delimitation, that is limiting of the constituencies. These generally the constituencies would be changing after every 10 or 15 years depending upon the demographical changes. And preparing and periodically revising the electoral rolls. This is the important function of Election Commission, because preparing of electoral rolls is important. We have a continuous changing of the population. Every year lakhs of people will add to the electoral rolls. They would cross 18 years of age, and all those eligible people should be enrolled in the electoral register. And to bring awareness in the youth how important their vote right is also done by the Election Commission of India. So, preparing and periodically revising. Here when we say periodically revising, many people would die, their name is also appearing in the electoral rolls. Such names should be deleted for further misuse. The periodical revision of electoral rolls is also an important feature of electoral process. So, Election Commission of India would be implementing all those new technologies in preparing and revising the electoral rolls of the voters. ECI will also notify the dates and schedules to conduction of the elections. So, here the dates would be decided, the nature would be decided, the schedule will be decided. It will also decide on the nomination papers. It will also set the date of nomination, and all those process prior to the actual conduct of the elections is decided by the Election Commission of India. We have another important function, that is to grant recognition to the political parties. The registered political parties only can participate in the electoral process, and the parties should get registered and should allot a symbol to such parties. So, the grant of recognition and allotting symbol to such parties is also an important function of ECI. And to act as a court of settling disputes, as we say, ECI also acts as a quasi judicial body. The settlement of disputes arised during election process or post elections or pre elections will be decided by the Election Commission of India. And to appoint officers inquiring the disputes, because we know disputes, to settlement of the disputes we need some specialization. The Election Commission of India would appoint such officers who are expertise in such matters to settle disputes. Code of conduct is an important term here, because for free and fair elections, when we say fair elections, equal importance has to be given to the all political parties, be it national party, be it regional party, or newly established parties. All parties should be given equal importance, equal subject to importance, and equal role in public life. So, code of conduct here is decided by the code of conduct of political parties here is decided by the Election Commission. When we say code of conduct, Election Commission of India will give certain directions to political parties to follow certain rules, to observe certain norms, so that every political party should have an equal level playing field. So, such code of conduct is also decided by the Election Commission, which gives a fair platform to all the candidates who are contesting the elections. So, prepare a roster for publicity. Every political party have certain manifestos. They would decide on meetings, they would decide on road shows, rallies. So all such things are also decided by election commission, and prepare a roster how much time should be given for their publicity, be it print media, be it electronic media, or be it hoardings on public places. So all these rosters are also decided by the election commission. If there is any discrepancy, or if there is any violation of norms or guidelines given by the election commission of India, would be treated seriously, and there would be a lot of penalties on such political parties or such candidates who are contesting the elections. So electoral process are very important. Few candidates or few political parties may be debarred from contesting elections if the guidelines are not followed properly. So there are also stringent actions taken by the Election Commission of India. And when we say advisory functions of the election commission, here the election commission would advise on various matters regarding the electoral process to the president. Because election commission is a constitutional body and the president is the highest executive authority. President appoints chief election commissioner and other election commissioners. It is the duty of the election commission to provide with all the matters regarding the electoral process to the president. So president would also time could get information regarding the nature of the functions taken up by the election machinery, and the election commission would also advise on matters where there is a president rule in the state, and if there is a due date to conduct elections in such states, the election commission would advise president on the conduction of elections in such state which are under president's rule. And wherever the matters are regarding the state elections, disqualification of members in the state, such matters are advised to the governor by the election commission. So we have advisory functions too. So other functions are to cancel polls. We know the polls, the elections are to be conducted in a free, transparent and fair manner. If there is any indiscrepancy or if there is any breakdown of law and order, like rigging, booth capturing or any violence in the conduct of the elections, such elections are cancelled in such places. So the cancellation of elections in such sensitive situations are also decided by the Election Commission of India. So rigging, booth capturing, violence and other irregularities, if is any basis for unfair practices, then Election Commission could cancel poll in such areas. When we say staff, as we know, election commission do not have their own staff. They would take staff from all the departments in the state. So in the state, the governor is the highest executive authority. Election Commission of India would ask the governor to provide with such staff necessary for the conduction of elections in a free, fair and transparent manner. So Election Commission of India requests the governor regarding the staff necessary for conducting elections. And EC also supervise the machinery of the elections in conducting of free and fair elections. They also ask the other departmental heads like defense ministry or president to provide with such military personnel for the conduction of elections in sensitive areas. As we know, there are certain areas in northeast region where we have a lot of insurgency or moist dominated areas or sensitive areas where we may anticipate communal violence. So in such areas we need to deploy armed forces. So the Election Commission of India could also recommend or ask President or other dignitaries for helping with such staff. So, this we've discussed to advise the president on the elections, in such states where there is president's rule, because in president's rule the entire machinery, the entire state machinery is under suspension. There is no representation. So, such states where the state is under president rule and there is a need to conduct elections, on that matters the Election Commission of India advises the president on how to go with the process of the elections. And to register political parties, new political parties are registered by the Election Commission of India. The Election Commission of India also looks into the matters of the organization, how democratically, internal democracy the political party generally follows. So, it also looks into the matters of internal democracy of the political parties, on whose name the political parties are being established, what are the symbols given to such parties, what are the ideologies of such parties. So, all these matters which are very sensitive in democracy are to be decided by the Election Commission of India. And we have a lot of controversy also the Election Commission of India is facing. As we know, we had a ballot system, but due to huge population and many states will go to electoral process every year. So, we have a EVM system, we have a electronic voting machine, which is electronically electronic device which is used to cast votes. So, it has also come under scrutiny from various quarters of the sections, because many political parties which generally the political parties which lose elections will have allegations on the functioning of the EVMs. So, EVMs also have controversy. After this EVM controversy, we have gone to VVPAT system. In VVPAT system, we have verifiable voter system, where if you press a button, we will be getting the token to which political party the vote has been cast. Even there is a allegations on these systems. So, there are a lot of challenges in front of the Election Commission of India, and it's a huge task to conduct elections to such a huge country. But time and again, the Election Commission of India has been successfully conducting elections and strengthening the democratic process of the country. So, there are many reports also, when we say many committees have been formed by the government of India on looking into the matters of the challenges of Election Commission of India. Even in second ARC, second Administrative Reform Commission also, there were many recommendations given how to conduct the elections, what are the process of the elections. So, even we see that there is a talk of conducting one election to the entire country at one time, because every now and then we have elections that is generally hampering the development process of the country, because we know before elections there have to be a code of conduct, and in code of conduct the government cannot announce new policies, new programs, and it would take a lot of time for the conduction of the election machinery, and it also needs a lot of material resources, lot of human resources, and lot of money is to be consumed by such electoral process. So, there is a lot of wastage of money. So, we have a general plan of conducting single elections for all the states and at the parliament level at one time. So, it may be feasible or may not be feasible, but that is depending upon the level of maturity shown by all the political parties, because it is not in a democratic country, in a federal polity what we have, it has to be a consensus developed among all the political parties, among intelligentsia, among employees, among students. So, all these factors has to be taken into the consideration when we have any process of shifting from the election process we follow today to one election to one nation. So there are many challenges to be faced by Election Commission of India, and Election Commission of India also been dealing with all these processes time and again, and the credibility of conducting free and fair elections has been upheld by the Election Commission of India. So we hope for strengthening the Election Commission of India, and the functions of Election Commission of India shows the credibility of how vibrant democracy we are. Thank you for watching this class.